afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 5. Live at 4. This day after
How quickly
Christmas.
they forget. Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
Wow, look at how tan you are. How was your trip?
It was very good. We had a great time. We made it back on Thursday, I think the last flight out of Detroit.
You had one canceled flight, right?
Right. And we were supposed to get back at 4 o'clock Thursday afternoon. We got into the airport at 11:15.
Oh, just made it. Now, for people who don't know, you were on a cruise in the Caribbean for 2 weeks.
It was great. It was a lot of fun.
What's it like to come back to this weather?
We got out of the plane. It was 13 below.
Oh, no. But you're bringing the warm weather back with us this week.
It's going to warm up, so that's some good news.
Glad to have you back.
And here's what's making news on this Monday. It is cold.
How cold is it?
Well, it's so cold that Lake Mendota froze over 2 weeks earlier than last year.
It'll be interesting to see how close people's predictions were to that. But weather conditions are much more serious on the East Coast. That storm continues to paralyze sections of the country.
And in the Ukrainian war, the Russian president says talks to end the fighting may be possible. Let's take a look outside. Elver Park, a popular place today.
Yeah, with the sunshine. And this is that time of the year when temperatures are in the double digits. It feels like 70.
14 feels great. You know you're a Wisconsinite when 14 feels warm. And we are rebounding with the temperatures. Julian is in the backyard, and I saw some 40s by the end of the week.
Oh, yes, Mark. We are actually going to be seeing 40s. It feels like it's been forever since we've had weather that's just been rather pleasant for us in this winter. But taking a look at our cloud track, the good news is we haven't had a lot of cloud cover throughout much of our afternoon. And heading into the next couple of hours, we're not going to be seeing much development of those clouds until we get into the later part of tonight. But as we see for our wind chills, it still feels rather cold, even though temperatures right now for Madison aren't as bad as for other areas. We're feeling like it's 15 degrees, but single digits and near zero for our friends at Platteville and for Janesville. Taking a look outside, at least we have plenty of sunshine on this Monday, just a few days before we kick off the new year. We're going to continue this cold trend for tonight as temperatures will fall into the single digits, and those wind speeds will be dropping us into feeling like we're below zero once again. Tonight, we're looking at low temperatures around 0 degrees for Madison, single digits throughout all of southern Wisconsin. And as we can see, lots of dry conditions, but we did have some snow overnight, brought in some trace and dusting amounts, but most of that is pretty much melted as we continue throughout the rest of our Monday. Now, taking a look at our traffic, well, things as of right now aren't too bad. We can see really smooth conditions on 12 and 18 as of right now, but along the Beltline, rather smooth as we're kicking off the 4 p.m. commute. We'll take a look at what else we can expect for the rest of the week and timing out when we can expect those 40s in just a few moments. Until then, back to you, Mark.
All right, Julian, thank you.
All right, thanks, Julian. Well, while we're heading to a milder stretch of weather, we have evidence of the effects of the bitter cold snap we all survived the past few weeks.
Yeah, Madison's largest lake officially froze over on Christmas Day after last week's extreme cold temperatures helped set the stage for the big freeze. This is 2 weeks earlier than last winter. To meet the Wisconsin State Climatology Office's criteria, the ice must hold for 24 hours before a lake can be declared frozen over. And despite the surface now being covered, the executive director of the Clean Lakes Alliance says venturing out onto the ice always comes with risks.
At about 4 inches of ice thickness, you can go out there with certainty that it's okay. But, you should always check on ice conditions. With it warming up this week, we do expect to have a little bit of thaws, so I think the lakes will be a little bit unstable the next couple of days.
Each year, the Clean Lakes Alliance holds a contest to guess the lake's ice-on date. Of the nearly 1,600 people who entered this year, 33 of them guessed correctly. The randomly selected winner will receive a $1,000 gift card from Land's End.
At least 25 people have died in Buffalo, New York after the massive winter storm that blasted much of the country over the Christmas weekend. Christian Benavides has more.
There's no rest for emergency workers in western New York as they brave heavy snowfall and treacherous conditions. This plow rammed another one to free it from a snowbank.
Certainly it is the blizzard of the century.
Governor Kathy Hochul says there have been more than 550 rescues, but search teams have also found people who died in their cars and on the streets.
Everything that has been forecast, we have gotten in the city of Buffalo and then some.
Up to another foot of snow is expected to fall through Tuesday evening, adding to the 3.5 feet that came down over the weekend. The storm is part of a so-called bomb cyclone that brought high winds and frigid temperatures to millions of Americans and also disrupted holiday travel.
So when I finally found out my flight was going to take off today, I couldn't get out of my driveway because of an inch of ice.
With thousands of flights canceled or delayed Monday, some travelers scrambled to make other arrangements.
We get to the ticket counter. Oh, no, your flight is canceled.
Shell Dancy is trying to get back to Ohio with her husband and 2 children.
A very overwhelming, horrible feeling because I need to get home today.
The cold weather is also being blamed for waterline breaks in Jackson, Mississippi. Many in the city, already dealing with ongoing water issues, have no water pressure. The city of Jackson issued a boil water advisory until further notice. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
Officials in Jackson say significant amounts of water are being produced, but the pressure is not increasing, and that leaves them to believe there are significant leaks in the system that haven't been identified yet. The American Red Cross is asking for your help this holiday season. Severe winter weather last week affected donor turnout and forced the cancellation of the 2 Red Cross blood drives, including the annual holiday drive at the Alliant Energy Center.
As our Andrew Banstra tells us, donating this week just might save a life. Andrew.
Yeah, Mark and Susan, last week's winter weather took nearly 1,000 would-be blood donations from the American Red Cross statewide, and they need your help replenishing their supply. Kyle Kriegel, the executive director of Southern Wisconsin's American Red Cross, tells me they need donors because trauma patients and those in need of a blood transfusion don't get the luxury of a holiday break. That's why they're asking you to shake up your holiday plans.
After last Friday's, we canceled 2 of our larger blood drives in the state, the one here in Madison, and there was one in Green Bay. And then we also closed all of our blood donor centers. And so we have about around 900 uncollected units of blood from that day. And so we're asking folks, this time to come out. If you can, make an appointment, donate blood.
The Red Cross says a donation only takes about 45 minutes of your time, and just one donation can save up to 3 lives. Not to mention, for the next week, everyone who donates blood gets a free long-sleeve Red Cross t-shirt. At 5, I'll tell you more about where you can make a donation this week and why it's so important to do so.
All right, Andrew, we'll see you at 5. Thank you. No one was injured in a house fire in Beloit late this morning. Several fire departments were called to the home in the 2600 block of Sharon Drive with reports of heavy smoke coming from the building. Janesville, Town of Beloit, South Beloit, and the Town of Turtle fire departments assisted Beloit at the scene. They have yet to determine the cause.
For the first time, Russian President Vladimir Putin says Moscow is ready for talks to end the 10-month-long war in Ukraine. Pope Francis today noting the Ukrainian flags in the crowd in St. Peter's Square once again asked for peace in the war-torn country. While Russian attacks on Ukraine continue, President Vladimir Putin said in a state television interview that he is ready for talks to end the war. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky told U.S. lawmakers last week there can be no compromise as long as Russia occupies any part of Ukraine.
COVID-19 cases are soaring across China, overwhelming hospitals. Over 248 million people became infected with the virus during the first 20 days of December. It comes after the government's decision to relax COVID restrictions earlier this month after weeks of protests. Beijing has admitted the scale of this outbreak has become too difficult to track.
We are filled up with people. A lot of them got admitted to the hospital. They're not getting better in a day or two, so there's no flow.
Vaccine booster campaigns are ramping up again, especially for the elderly. There are concerns not enough people have had a second or third shot, and more variants could emerge from this outbreak. China will drop its COVID quarantine requirements for passengers arriving from abroad starting on January 8th.
To Korea now, where the South Korean military fired warning shots at North Korean drones that violated the South's airspace. It is the first time since 2018 that that North Korea has violated southern airspace. When the drones crossed the border, South Korea scrambled aircraft and helicopters to intercept. According to the Associated Press, it is not yet clear whether the drones were shot down. However, new reports coming in say that shortly after scrambling, a South Korean plane crashed, but the two pilots are safe. This is just 3 days after North Korea launched 2 missiles into the southern sea.
Well, the Denver Broncos fired first-year head coach Nathaniel Hackett today, just after 15 games, ending one of the most disastrous head coaching hires in NFL history. Hackett didn't last past his first season in Denver, despite having Russell Wilson as his franchise quarterback. The 42-year-old Hackett was hired in January as the franchise's 18th head coach after serving 3 seasons as the Green Bay Packers offensive coordinator under Matt LaFleur. At one point, there was talk when Aaron Rodgers was waffling on whether he'd play for the Packers that he might want to follow Hackett to Denver.
The Badger men's basketball team's rise continues. For the 3rd week in a row, the Badgers climbed in the Associated Press poll. They're now up to number 15. The Badgers were ranked number 17 last week and 22 the week before. As for the football team, the Badgers are in Phoenix preparing to take on Oklahoma State in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. The Badgers are making their 21st straight bowl appearance, the 3rd longest such streak in the country. The Badgers have won 7 of their last 8 bowl games. Kickoff is 9:15 tomorrow night on ESPN. The game will be the Badgers' debut for new head coach Luke Fickell. Wisconsin hired Fickell in December, just a day after the regular season.
Nice and warm there.
I was just reading my mind. That looks so great.
Wearing shorts.
And while the Guaranteed Rate Bowl isn't one of the more familiar bowl games, what could be better known than the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl?
There is 1 week left until the annual Rose Parade in Pasadena, and volunteers are racing to get floats decorated for the big day. And it takes thousands of those volunteers and decorators to get them ready for the parade each year. Both Susan and I have seen this for ourselves, covering one of the Badgers' frequent trips to Pasadena. And between the colors and the pageantry, the smell of all those flowers is unforgettable.
It certainly is. It makes us homesick, doesn't it?
Everything on those floats has to be organic.
That has to be real.
It has to be real.
Yeah.
It is incredible.
It's amazing. We'll be back someday.
Someday. Still to come at 4. It was a busy holiday weekend at the box office.
When we come back, our film critic Will Loper has the numbers and the reviews. That's when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
With Pick and Save delivery, it's easy to get your special holiday foods brought right to your door. And that's music to your ears. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
We asked people to give their honest feedback on how wrinkles around their eye area and under-eye puffiness looked after trying Tint and Tighten for the first time.
So with foundation, normally it just kind of, you just cover up and conceal things. But with Tint and Tighten, it actually changes the way the skin looks. The lines are actually gone. So you don't get any of that buildup within them and the creases that you normally would see when you wear foundation.
40s was a bit of a shocker for me because 40s, I noticed the skin under my eye is getting very loose. And then 50s hit. And I'm 54, and I really noticed the difference in the firmness of my skin here, and especially here. I'm glad there's products like Tint and Tighten out there so that I can just put this on and not worry about what I didn't do in my 40s, my 30s, and my 20s, and it looks like I always have. It's a pleasure, and it's actually a gift for anyone.
Tint and Tighten shrinks under-eye puffiness, smooths out wrinkles and fine lines around the eye area, and provides tinted coverage to hide dark circles and skin imperfections, making you look fresh and younger. Tint and Tighten is the only cosmetic that blends a beautiful tinted cream to cover uneven skin tone and dark circles with silicate technology that smooths out under-eye puffiness and wrinkles, making the skin around your eye area look flawless for up to 8 hours.
I will be turning 59 in June of this year. Using Tint and Tighten, for me, I'm actually very confident right now that my wrinkles won't be as obvious. It is giving me the support that I think reminds me that I'm at my best right now.
Finally, there's a tinted eye cream to cover dark circles and uneven skin tone. And since Tint and Tighten works in 10 minutes and lasts up to 8 hours, you can look your best without getting injections or fillers. Get beautiful, lightweight, tinted coverage, plus that smoother, younger, wrinkle-free look from years past in 10 minutes. A look that will make you feel beautiful and confident. Try it this new year for only $19.95. Plus, get free shipping and handling. Visit tintandtighten.com or call the number on your screen.
We all love reading the magazine, but did you know there's additional exclusive Madison Magazine content here on channel3000.com? Click on Madison Magazine for timely food stories and blogs on the local food scene that don't appear in the magazine. Find arts and entertainment and interesting Madisonians. There are featured columnists and online extras like photo galleries and videos. Channel 3000 and Madison Magazine. Together, they're your one source for all things Madison.
Keep your holidays in sync with free pickup on all your fresh favorites from Pick and Save. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Well, the holidays can be the most wonderful time of the year.
But for many other people, the winter season can be extremely difficult on your mood and mental health. According to a recent American Psychiatric Association poll, nearly 40% of us say our moods decline in the winter, and a quarter report feeling depressed. Patients with seasonal affective disorder can feel fatigued or less motivated, and they may not be able to enjoy their normal activities. Dr. Dorothy Sitt is a psychiatrist at Northwestern University. She studies how light therapy can help treat seasonal affective disorder and other forms of depression.
Our bodies, really depend upon light from the sun or sunlight to regulate our circadian rhythms.
Doctors say light therapy can help people feel improvements within 2 to 3 days of regular use, and a full response is seen within 3 weeks. Dr. Sitt says she wants others to know the winter blues are real, but help is out there.
There are no Wall Street numbers to report today. The market's closed for the Christmas holiday. Well, no surprises at the holiday weekend box office. Avatar remains #1.
But another film caught the eye of our film critic, Will Loper. Here's this week's Loper Report.
Hey, Mark and Susan. It comes as no surprise that Avatar: The Way of Water remained on top at the box office over the holiday weekend. However, there were a few newcomers, including the absolutely bonkers film, Babylon.
If you could go anywhere in the whole world, where would you go?
I always wanted to be part of something bigger.
Yes.
The film charts the rise and fall of a group of characters played by Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt, and newcomer Diego Calva in early Hollywood.
If I had money, I would only spend it on things that were fun, not boring things like taxes. I just want for everyone to party forever.
This comes from writer-director Damien Chazelle, who previously brought us the J.K. Simmons terrifying music teacher in Whiplash.
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
As well as the musical Tale of Dreamers in La La Land, starring Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone.
This is the dream. It's conflict and it's compromise. It's very, very exciting.
Babylon is the adrenaline-fueled fever dream counterpart to La La Land, moving at a breakneck speed as we watch our 3 characters seek stardom.
You know what we have to do? We have to redefine the form.
The first half of the film has some of the best sequences of the year, from an insane party involving an elephant to the filming of several silent films in the desert. Once sound arrives on the scene and our characters begin to falter, the film becomes less compelling. Babylon has quickly become one of those films that audiences find themselves either loving or outright hating. But if you go in expecting a ridiculous ride of debauchery and excess, in my opinion, you'll have a pretty good time.
It's the most magical place in the world.
Also opening is the Whitney Houston biopic, I Want to Dance with Somebody.
There's a boy I know. He's the one I dream of.
What's your name again?
Whitney Elizabeth Houston.
Naomi Ackie shines as the legendary performer in the movie that is a mostly by-the-numbers biopic.
Music is not a color to me. It has no boundaries. I sing what I want to sing, be how I want to be, and reach as big an audience as I can.
But the focus on the highlights of Houston's life, as well as the sheer power of her songs, make this a movie worth seeing. Over on streaming services, newly streaming on Disney Plus is the film Strange World.
Where in the world are we?
Although not one of Disney's best animated films, Strange World is still worth seeing at the very least for its inventive world building and gorgeous creature animation.
I'm loving this family reunion, but come on, we got a world to save.
And those waiting for Top Gun Maverick to hit streaming can now check it out on Paramount Plus.
Today's exercise is dogfighting. 2 versus 1? He's got to be kidding.
Tom Cruise returns as Maverick, teaching a new group of hotshot pilots how to complete a mission that is impossible.
Jeez. Having any fun yet?
For Live at 4, I'm Will Lowe.
I watched that over the weekend.
And what'd you think?
It was good.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
That's an interesting Christmas choice. Why not?
Avalon looks interesting.
It does look very interesting.
Well, there's more to come at 4. We'll look back at the top national stories of 2022.
It was a year of extremes and surprises. The year that was when Live at 4 continues.
If you just want a slice of pizza, you don't buy the whole pie. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why pay for more than you need? Switch to Consumer Cellular and get unlimited talk and text with a flexible data plan starting at just $20 a month, plus the same great coverage as leading carriers for half the cost. You'll also receive 100% U.S.-based award-winning support. Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service again. Plus, AARP members get exclusive discounts. Switch today. Call, go online, or find us at Target.
Hey, I just got a text from my sister. You remember Rick, her neighbor?
Sure. He's the 76-year-old guy who still runs marathons, right?
Sadly, not anymore.
What? You mean...
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Wow. So sudden. We're not about to have the we need life insurance conversation again, are we?
No, we're having the we're getting coverage so we don't have to worry about it conversation.
So you're calling about the $9.95 a month plan from Colonial Penn?
I am. We put it off long enough. We are getting that $9.95 plan today.
Is it time for you to call about the $9.95 plan? I'm Jonathan from Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. Sometimes we just need a reminder not to take today for granted. It could be the death of someone you know or a health scare. That's why today could be a great day to call for free information about Colonial Penn's $9.95 plan. If you're age 50 to 85, you can get guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance starting at just $9.95 a month. There are no health questions, so you can't be turned down for any health reason. This is permanent coverage. Just pay your premiums for lifelong security. The $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life plan. Options start at just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate can never go up. It's locked in for life. Don't put it off. Take the first easy step. Call today for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. So call now.
Call 1-800-290-3399 for your free information and free gift. That's 1-800-290-3399. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-290-3399. 1-800-290-3399. Call now.
Hello, Colonial Penn?
It's the Planet Fitness You Can Still Join a Gym in 2022 sale. Now through December 30th. Join for just $1 down, $10 a month, and you can still do that thing you said you'd do 11 and a half months ago. All with no commitment, cancel anytime. Get tons of equipment in our clean and spacious clubs. It's not too late. This can still be your year. Simply join through the free PF app for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and pay nothing until January 17th. Hurry, deal ends Friday, December 30th.
Well, Well, take a look at this. These shelter pups at the Pet Resource Center in Hillsborough County, Florida, had some possum Christmas picking out toys on Christmas Day. Watch their tails wag as they run around sniffing all the stuffed animal toys. The center tweeted, Santa Paws visited PRC. Bindle, a Resource Center alumna, dropped off over 200 toys for the shelter pups. They put them all in a play yard and let the dogs choose their new favorite toy.
Well, it looks like they had to do it one at a time because while you were reading, Mark, there was a dog on the side of the fence that nearly jumped over the fence. There he is.
Yeah, I think more than one dog might end up it's in trouble.
How were your dogs when you got home after 2 weeks?
They're still running around.
I wish you'd take, one of these days you have to take video of that for me. I would love to see it.
Literally jumping for joy.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Adorable.
Yeah.
So, warming up.
Yeah, finally, right? It's been a long few days that we've had some cold, and we're finally going to start to see some relief towards the end of the week, closing into the new year. We'll break it down for you with the first warn forecast coming up after the break.
You've been injured in a truck crash, call Gruber Law Offices. Trucking law can be extremely complicated. There are specific rules and regulations that apply, and we know what it takes to win. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Eyes require a certain kind of care. As a family-owned optical company for over 40 years, Wisconsin Vision knows firsthand just how important your eyes are. That's why our doctors and staff are highly skilled and passionate in their roles. It's why our centers offer a large selection of eyewear suitable for all lifestyles, and it's why our lens lab is state-of-the-art, conveniently located right here in Wisconsin. Ask about $100 off a complete pair, frame and lenses. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. You can meet with an InventHelp representative who'll keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. And InventHelp's databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to review new ideas. Take action and get the help you need from InventHelp.
800-550-5543. Get started on your next project now at Menards. Create your dream bathroom with Sterling bathroom products that fit your style and budget. Like this Sterling Ensemble shower. Its durable, high-gloss finish provides lasting beauty. Save big on Sterling products. Put the finishing touches on your kitchen or bathroom with Moen. Add a modern touch with the matte black Mica bath faucet. Get it for only $99.99 now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what you need when you've been in a serious truck accident. Call Gruber Law Offices. We've successfully helped people injured by big trucks for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, after such a bitterly cold weekend, and on top of it, we finally got our white Christmas here in the upper Midwest. Though many of us were being able to enjoy the snow that was left for us over the weekend, but it's not going to be sticking around much longer as we get into the back end of the work week and heading into the new year. We're looking at very unseasonably warm temperatures actually heading into next week. So we're going to see temperatures climb into the upper 30s and the 40s going into next week, this weekend, and for next weekend itself. So that's where our weather headlines are. Bitterly cold for tonight, but we're steadily going to be on a mild trend, especially once we get to Wednesday, where we'll see those temperatures in the upper 30s and near 40 degrees for many of us here in southern Wisconsin and the upper Midwest in itself. But with those warmer temperatures, we do have a couple little weak systems that could be bringing in some shower chances ahead of the new year. Here's a look at our surface map. A lot of quiet conditions, and it's going to be like that over the next couple of days as this high pressure system is going to be dominating into the upper Midwest. However, it will be cold for tonight. overnight, we're going to see temperatures fall into around 0 degrees. So wind chill values will be between 5 to 10 degrees below zero for us here in Madison, and many of us will be in the single digits. So the wind chills will be the biggest issue, but the good news is for tomorrow, we'll see those temperatures back up. We're looking in still below freezing, but 24 degrees in Madison isn't going to be too bad, especially if we get a little bit more sunshine as we head into our afternoons. Let's go ahead and walk through what we're going to be experiencing. For tonight, some clouds will start to build and clear out once we get into the overnight hours, but it's still going to be a bunch of back and forth from clear skies and cloudy conditions. Around lunchtime for Tuesday morning, we're going to start to see a lot of that wind starting to pick itself up from the south, which is going to keep things rather close to mild, at least for what it felt like for us over the last few days. We're going to see 20s back into southern Wisconsin with breezy conditions really taking hold. As we transition into our Wednesday, we're going to start off even milder. Temperatures will still be below freezing, but into the upper 20s for this time of year. It's actually something that's welcome for us here in southern Wisconsin. Still going to be rather breezy though, but we'll see those temperatures warming up once again as we get into our Wednesday afternoon. Now, outside of it being rather quiet, the one thing that we are going to watch for is breezier conditions starting from Tuesday afternoon and sticking around throughout our Wednesday as well. We're going to see gusts that will be maintained from the 20s close to 30 miles per hour. But the other thing we're going to watch for is that over the next couple of days, it will be quiet. But going into the weekend, we could see a couple of opportunities as some systems are going to start to try to set up just south of southern Wisconsin near the Illinois state line. That could bring in a couple opportunities for us to see some rainfall. So that's why we have some rain drops on our forecast over the next few days, especially starting for Thursday nights going into our Friday. We have a couple of opportunities to see some rain, and then heading into the new year, we're going to see temperatures still going to be rather nice, but could be a bit of a wet one that you might want to bring an umbrella for if you're going to be participating out of the house for New Year's Day. But then next week, temperatures are still going to be above normal, upper 30s, lower 40s, a bit of a seesaw for us until we get into the first week of January.
Good thing those kids are taking advantage of Elver Park because a lot of that snow will be gone by the weekend.
Absolutely. It's going to kind of kill the winter spirit for a little bit, but I'm sure we'll get some more later.
I'm sure we will.
Can't wait to see what the line at the car wash is going to be like. It's going to be a mess. Can you imagine?
Mark will be first in line.
I'm going to wait for the big melt before I go. All right.
Thank you, Julian.
Well, all this week we'll be taking a look back at the year that was.
The U.S. saw devastating hurricanes this year and growing gun violence in 2022.
Christian Benavides looks back.
Gun violence plagued America in 2022. In Uvalde, Texas,
he's inside the school shooting at the kids.
19 students and 2 teachers were killed at Robb Elementary School. Police faced outrage for waiting more than 70 minutes to engage the shooter. Authorities say racism was behind the supermarket shooting in a predominantly black Buffalo, New York neighborhood. A gunman opened fire on an Independence Day parade in Illinois, an LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado Springs, and a Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia. Migrant encounters at the southern border climbed to nearly 2.4 million, a new yearly record. Migrants themselves became political pawns, bussed to northern cities from Texas and Florida. Category 4 Ian was the deadliest hurricane to strike Florida since 1935 and could be the state's costliest, with damage estimates as high as $84 billion. Nicole tore through just 6 weeks later, destroying already compromised structures. Flooding plunged Mississippi's capital city into a water crisis, leaving nearly 200,000 Jackson residents without clean drinking water.
Somebody needs to be trying to hurry up and solve this problem.
Extreme weather made for the 3rd hottest summer on record in the U.S. Fires raged in the west, this one in Yosemite National Park, threatening giant sequoia trees, among the oldest in the world. Americans stretched their wallets thin, with inflation reaching a 40-year high. The average national gas price topped $5 a gallon in June. The overturn of Roe v. Wade reignited the abortion debate in every state, with at least 13 banning most procedures and Kansas voters going on the record to protect access. A Florida jury spared convicted Parkland school shooter Nicholas Cruz the death penalty. He'll serve life in prison for killing 14 students and 3 others in 2018. A Connecticut jury ordered conspiracy theorist Alex Jones to pay nearly $1 billion in damages to families of Sandy Hook school shooting victims. Jones repeatedly called the 2012 massacre a hoax.
We'll start things off tonight with the number 56.
One lucky ticket sold in California scooped up Powerball's big biggest jackpot ever, just over $2 billion.
Oh my God, these are happy tears, I guess.
Tennis phenom Serena Williams indicated the U.S. Open would be her last tournament, but later said she is not retired. The winningest quarterback in football history, Tom Brady, did retire. 40 days later, he changed his mind. New York Yankees slugger Aaron Judge became the home run king of the American League.
And liftoff of Artemis 1.
NASA's most powerful moon rocket, Artemis, finally blasted off after months of delays. A first step in returning astronauts to the moon. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
A lot happens
What
in
a year, yeah.
And tomorrow we'll look back at the stories that dominated the headlines in 2022. Health stories, I believe. All right, coming up, some inspirational messages Josh Sprider found this year in the 608.
And then coming up next hour at 5, an update on how shelters dealt with the homeless during the recent cold snap.
Attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Call right now to find out if you qualify.
Call 1-800-336-0524. 1-800-336-0524.
Do you have a coffee smile? Drinking coffee causes yellow teeth for thousands of people just like you. And whitening toothpaste just doesn't make those stains go away. Introducing Power Swabs, the first teeth whitening system that lifts coffee stains off your teeth in less than 5 minutes without whitening strips or trays.
The Power Swabs were so easy to use. I don't have to have strips sitting on my face for an hour. I don't have to have a foam tray where I feel like I'm going to gag or I'm going to go play football. I've tried like every over-the-counter whitening because, you know, I'm one of those people that's like obsessed with white teeth.
So with the strips I've used in the past, most of them are like you got to leave it on for 30 minutes and the whole experience is just not comfortable. But with Power Swabs, I just snapped it open and rubbed it on and it was good to go.
This didn't sting, it didn't burn, it didn't have an aftertaste. It was just a swab and I just got to rub it on my teeth, and that was it.
The Secret is a tooth detergent and whitening agent developed by Dr. Martin Ginniker that lifts stains off of your teeth. Power Swabs remove stains on natural teeth, veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns. The best part is you just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you'll have whiter teeth. No more sitting at home with a whitening strip or tray in your mouth for 30 minutes twice a day.
When I use these whitening strips, I noticed when I would drink, I would get this crazy sensitivity. It would go right to my brain, and I'm like, I hate this. So why do I have to go through the monstrosity of this pain just because I want to whiten my teeth? With Power Swabs, there was zero sensitivity.
Within the first day with the Power Swab, I noticed there was a difference. I really love the fact that you're able to go individually on each tooth and make sure that it's going to be wider.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. Whiten your teeth this new year by ordering Power Swabs and receive up to 50% off the regular price. Yes, 50% off the regular price. Shipping is free, plus you'll receive a free quick stick pen. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
Life in the 608 is all about how you live it, and there's plenty of inspiration.
This is just an idea that I rolled with.
I'm News 3 Now's Josh Sprider. I'm visiting the people, places, and events that make this area one of a kind.
Who's the evil twin?
Tell me what inspires you, and it might be featured on News 3 Now this morning.
My motto is, be the change you want to see in the world.
In the 608, weekdays on News 3 Now this morning.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Giving the weather satellite a spin, we end up in Phoenix. It's 73 degrees right now. It'll be 60 tomorrow at kickoff for the Badger game.
Good luck to the Badgers.
Tickets still available, so we should go.
Let's go.
You can get a plane. Good luck. In the 608 this week, we're taking a look back at all the coverage in 2022.
Our Josh Sprider and photojournalist Mark Schilling show us some of the inspirational people we met this year.
And the positive messages to our viewers.
My favorite thing is just putting stuff away.
And it's like, oh my gosh, he's so valuable.
I just be happy that I have the job that I like to do.
We
wanted to make space for Black women and honor Black women. I think sometimes our contributions are not mentioned or not covered, and so we could think of no better way to celebrate Black History Month, celebrate our colleague, and celebrate and honor the Black woman.
After their twins' nearly 4-month stay at St. Mary's Hospital, Molly wanted to find a way to give back with her own experience and perspective.
Where I'd be most put to use is at the bedside with the parents who are watching their children and wondering what's next and sort of comforting in that angle.
It's easy to get to, very convenient to find it. Amazingly sweet fragrance, particularly from dusk till dawn, are part of our really sensory engagement focus here at the Healing Garden.
I would guess, obviously, this is very complex. You need to have the support to be able to be successful.
Yeah, and it's taken a while, but it's finally kicking off. And it's also kind of fun to watch an 80-year-old man turn into a little boy.
People don't realize that they can really go beyond what they think they can do. So when they break down those barriers and they get through the failures in life, and make sure the little things that happen that bring on that failure don't happen again.
It's hard to feel these emotions. It's hard to reflect on what's happened to you. You want to just dismiss it and pretend it never happened.
Being out there, being physical in nature can be so healing.
Yes. We got this. I also have mental disabilities also, which to me count as my strengths. My caseworker and my boss at the time thought it would be a great idea for me to do it because I'm super nice to people and I understand people and I get people.
The 1% more is a life habit, it's a mentality, and I think it's something that can be replicated into any career, into any profession. I think that 1% is what helps you become the next best version of yourself.
Because I just saw how much it brought them all together to have their words on the wall. And even when students come back, they'll say, oh, I can still see this is my handwriting. And that's pretty special.
Quite a year in the
It really
608.
And remember, you can always go back and watch the 608 features. Go to channel3000.com.
There is an interactive map for you to see there of all of the places Josh and Mark have been across southern Wisconsin.
Well, 2022 turned out to be quite a year in politics.
Before we turn over the calendar, our political pundit, Charles Franklin, looks back at the year in politics when Live at 4 continues.
Planet Fitness, you can still join a gym in 2022 sale. Join a clean and spacious Planet Fitness today for just $1 down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime and pay nothing until January 17th. Hurry, deal ends Friday, December 30th.
Hey, I just got a text from my sister. You remember Rick, her neighbor?
Sure. He's the 76-year-old guy who still runs marathons, right?
Sadly, not anymore.
What? You mean...
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Wow. So sudden. We're not about to have the we need life insurance conversation again, are we?
No, we're having the we're getting coverage so we don't have to worry about it conversation.
So you're calling about the $9.95 a month plan from Colonial Penn?
I am. We put it off long enough. We are getting that $9.95 plan today.
Is it time for you to call about the $9.95 plan? I'm Jonathan from Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. Sometimes we just need a reminder not to take today for granted. It could be the death of someone you know or a health scare. That's why today could be a great day to call for free information about Colonial Penn's $9.95 plan. If you're age 50 to 85, you can get guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance starting at just $9.95 a month. There are no health questions, so you can't be turned down for any health reason. This is permanent coverage. Just pay your premiums for lifelong security. The $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life plan. Options start at just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate can never go up. It's locked in for life. Don't put it off. Take the first easy step. Call today for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. So call now.
Call 1-800-290-3399 for your free information and free gift. That's 1-800-290-3399. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-290-3399. 1-800-290-3399. Call now.
Hello, Colonial Penn?
Attention mothers, did you take Tylenol or other acetaminophen pain-relieving products while pregnant? Recent evidence suggests children whose mothers took Tylenol while pregnant may be more likely to develop autism. Other acetaminophen products at risk include Excedrin, NyQuil, Dayquil, and other store-brand pain relievers. Children with autism have a hard time interacting with others. Those on the spectrum usually begin exhibiting social symptoms by the time they're 8 to 10 months old. Call now for a free confidential consultation.
Please call 800-379-7867. It's the Planet Fitness You Can Still Join a Gym in 2022 sale. Join a clean and spacious Planet Fitness today for just $1 down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime and pay nothing until January 17th. Hurry, deal ends Friday, December 30th.
Well, an update on our traffic. The good news is, since we're not dealing with any kind of adverse weather right now, we are looking at things being rather smooth, especially for outside of our traffic cam as of right now for US 12 and 18. Rather smooth as we are closing into the 5 o'clock commute hour. Taking a look around the belt line, still all green. However, some of the ramps are a bit more congested as we're getting into the rest of our evening hours. But overall, things are rather smooth if you're going to be traveling this evening or heading into tonight. Now, taking a wider look at around the other roads, well, around 18 and I-39, smooth as butter as we're continuing the rest of this evening hour. It's going to do it for traffic. Let's go ahead and send it back to you guys.
Julian, thank you. Well, not everybody loves Christmas. Staff at the Texas San Antonio Zoo captured one of the resident warthogs enthusiastically throwing around a Christmas tree in an enclosure. The zoo posted that McKenna and Mattia threw the wildest Christmas parties in town.
That's it. Holiday's over.
That's it. Get rid of the tree. Well, from Republicans celebrating the overturn of Roe v. Wade to Democrats securing another 4 years in the governor's mansion, 2022 is a busy year in Wisconsin politics.
So what does it mean as we look ahead to 2023 and beyond?
The director of the Marquette Law School poll, Charles Franklin, is here with a look back at the biggest political stories of the year. Happy holidays,
Hi, Charles.
Good to see you. That may have been the top. Warthogs are part of the war on Christmas. Who knew that was part of it?
There we go. We got a new lead. All right, let's begin. Springtime.
Springtime. I mean, if we can remember back that far, and I have to say, I had to look it up myself. Let's remember the April municipal elections around the state. And let's remember them because they pretty much went off without a hitch. After all of the complaints about 2020, there were very few complaints about the spring elections. And in some cases, insurgent candidates won. And in other cases, they lost. And nobody particularly got bent out of shape about it. So I thought that was a good way to start off the spring.
And then as we went into the summer, probably the biggest political story of the year when the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade.
Absolutely, and we got a little hint of that in May when the decision was leaked early. But then in June, when the official decision came down, Roe versus Wade is no longer the law of the land. That throws it back to states. And here in Wisconsin, at least pending lawsuits at the moment, our 1849 abortion law is in effect that bans abortion except for the life of the mother. And that was an issue here in the state that went through the fall elections and around the country has really shifted politics in states in ways that we might not have anticipated. Kansas, for example, voting to support an abortion right in their state, Michigan passing a referendum in favor of abortion rights, maybe not as surprising. But the point is, this is an issue that's with us now and will likely be with us for years to come.
Two big statewide elections, Senate and gubernatorial. Where do you want to start?
Well, let's start in the spring primary when Tim Michels gets in the governor's race kind of late in the game, when Rebecca Clayfish looked like she had sort of solidified a first place position. And then Michels gets in, gets endorsed by Tommy Thompson. We have a bit of a struggle between the Thompson faction of the party and the Scott Walker, Becky Clayfish side of the party. And we come down to the end, the primary, Michels wins that nomination with Donald Trump's support and goes on into the fall. On the Democratic side, it looked like we might have a tussle, and then three top candidates drop out a couple of 3 weeks before the primary, something I can't remember happening in any election before. That let Mandela Barnes coast to the nomination and then face a very tough, hard-fought battle into November in the general election. So we had two very interesting primaries with rather different outcomes.
Do you think the Democratic Party cleared the way for Barnes?
I don't have any inside information about that. The public reporting suggests that the other candidates' polling convinced them that they didn't have a path to defeat Barnes, and whether it was prudence about future election chances by not seeming to be a spoiler, or whether they really didn't think they had a chance, or whether there was pressure bought, I have no idea. But it was an unusual circumstance, and it meant that Barnes came out of the primary with very positive feelings. On the other hand, he had not become widely known throughout the state at that point. Our polling still showed 41% didn't have a good opinion of him at all right after the primary. Whereas the Republican primary was tough and hard fought, but doesn't look like it left enduring schisms within the party in the fall. So it's a good example where a coming together may not help your nominee, but a divisive primary may not hurt your nominee either.
And as we look ahead now to the new year, we'll have the state Supreme Court election. That's going to be big.
It will be clearly the biggest political story of the spring, I think. There will be the small thing of the state budget as well, but I think in elections, that Supreme Court race will get an enormous amount of attention. We, of course, have a primary for that at the moment, a four-way primary in February before the April general election between the two that emerge from the primary. At balance is the majority on the state Supreme Court, so it is a lot at stake there for both sides in that contest.
We'll see you soon, I'm sure. Happy New Year.
No doubt.
Happy
Take
New Year,
care.
Charles.
Happy New Year to y'all.
Well, final check your forecast coming up.
Don't miss the Smith Brothers Factory Authorized New Year sale on now at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Select from many styles on our showroom floor or custom order the Amish crafted furniture that's right for you.
Happy New Year! Did you know that Wisconsin Vision offers telehealth eye exams? I just scheduled my telehealth eye exam easily on their website. Once in store, a tech helps get me started and then pre-checks my eyes. See my eye on the screen? Then I have my telehealth eye exam virtually with a licensed optometrist on the TV.
Everything looks great, Kate. You're going to love your new prescription.
Ask us about our $59 eye exam. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now.
Call 1-800-336-0524. Don't miss the Smith Brothers Factory Authorized New Year sale on now at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Select from many styles on our showroom floor or custom order the Amish crafted furniture that's right for you.
Happy New Year!
News 3 Now is taking action to find and deliver the news stories that matter where you live.
Taking action to uncover the truth, getting answers, and finding solutions that can make an impact in your life and our community where we all live.
Taking action for South Central Wisconsin. News 3 Now.
Be prepared for winter weather. Trust the First Warn Weather Team to give you clear, timely, and accurate info. Keeping you safe and ahead of the storms. Your certified, most accurate team, First Warn Weather. Only on News 3 Now.
And a final look at our weather. We're going to be expecting a nice mild trend once we get into the next few days. Going into the first week of the new year, we're looking at temperatures well above seasonable for many of us in the upper Midwest and to our friends to the east. 3 things we'll need to know. It's going to be a quiet start to the week, bitterly cold for tonight, but that trend of that mild temperatures that we've been talking about will begin once we get into Wednesday. But with the warmer temperatures, we are looking for some opportunities to bring in a little bit of wet weather right before the new year and head into our first week of January as well. We'll be breaking this down coming up at 5.
Liquid precipitation.
How about that?
Thawed a little bit. Thank you, Julian. Tomorrow here on Live Before UW Health's Dr. Jeff Potoff has the latest virus updates as COVID surges in China.
And do you need a virtual private network or VPN to protect your computer? Consumer Reports has some advice about that. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.
You waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. Now, the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to brooksnightguard.com and order yours today.
He has his grandfather's smile.
Her mother's eyes.
My cheekbones.
But will she have my diabetes?
My sickle cell anemia.
His father's heart disease.
Go to joinallofus.org to share your health information and speed up health research breakthroughs. The future of health begins with you.
It's Globetrotter game time. Get ready for the Harlem Globetrotters 2023 World Tour. Presented by Jersey Mike Subs. All new, non-stop action, amazing basketball skills, 4-point shots, high-flying dunks, and more. Get tickets for the whole family, where you can be part of the action. Playing Alliant Energy Center on December 30th. Go to harlemglobetrotters.com.
Hi, I'm Gary Canulti, inviting you on a holiday vacations tour. Join me May 2nd through the 12th as we tour Scotland and Northern Ireland. This trip is rich with history, exploring places like the Edinburgh Castle and the Titanic Belfast Museum. We'll also enjoy the gorgeous scenery and friendly people of these two unique countries. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword WISC, for more information and to watch a travel show. Or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword WISC, for more information.
The holidays are for making memories, and you can count on Honda to help you make them. Whether it's in a capable Ridgeline, adventurous CRV, a rugged Passport, or a dynamic Pilot. Start making memories of your own with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
In today's Final Touch, Santiago, Chile is ablaze in color, and that's a very good thing.
The annual Chinese Lantern Festival is underway. A total of 30 structures representing Chinese artifacts were set among smaller lanterns illuminating the paths and artificial lake in the park. The sculptures have been built by 41 artisans from China, mounting the figures on steel structures, modeled in wires, and then covered with hand-painted colorful silks. The final pieces display animals, flowers, mythological beings, and traditional scenes of Chinese culture. And in case you're headed to Santiago, the display will stay open until March 26th.
It is the year of the rabbit there.
Absolutely. All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.